whom alone cometh all counsel, wisdom, and understanding. We, thine unworthy servants, here gathered together in thy name, do most humbly beseech thee to send down thy heavenly wisdom from above, to direct and guide us in all our consultations. And grant that, we having thy fear always before our eyes, and laying aside all private interests, prejudices, and partial affections, the result of all our counsels may be to the glory of thy blessed name, the maintenance of true religion and justice, the safety, honor, and happiness of the Queen, the public weal, peace and tranquility of the island, and the uniting and knitting together of the hearts of all persons and estates within the same, and true Christian love and charity, one towards another, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Please be seated. This Honourable House now resumes its sitting. Call of the roll.
Mrs. Holness? Here. Mr. Bartlett? Mr. Holness? Here. Dr. Clark? Here. Dr. Chang? Mr. Shaw, Mr. Samuda, Ms. Grange, Mrs. Williams, Mrs. Malawu Fort, Dr. Tufton, Mr. McKenzie, Mr. Chuck, Mr. Vaz, Mr. Warmington, Mr. Charles, Mr. Green, Mr. Morgan, Mr. Hutchinson, Mr. Terry Long, Ms. Smith, Dr. Dunn, Mrs. Cuthbert Flynn, Mr. Main, Mr. Davis, Mr. Witter, Mr. Brown, Dr. Brown-Burke, Dr. Charles, Mr. Chin, Mr. Clark, Mr. Cousins, Ms. Crawford, Ms. Daly, Ms. Davis, Mr. Golding, Mr. Graham, Dr. Guy, Ms. Hamilton, Ms. Hannah, Mr. Henriquez, Mr. Henry, Mr. Hilton, Mr. Hilton, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Lawrence, Ms. Lee, Mr. Miller, Mr. Montague, Ms. Morrison, Mrs. Nita Garvey, Mr. Paulwell, Mr. Phillips, Dr. Phillips, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Robinson, Mr. Siblist, okay, Mr. Slowly, Mrs. Vaz, Dr. Wheatley, Mr. Williams, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Wright.
Statements by ministers, announcements, bills brought, announcements.
Laid on the table of the House today are the following: Ministry Paper number 56 of 2022 and Jamaica Deposit Insurance Corporation Annual Report on Audited Financial Statements for the year 2021. Ministry Paper number 57 of 2022 and Annual Report of the Financial Sector Adjustment Company Limited for the year 2019-2020. Ministry Paper number 58 of 2022 and Annual Report of the Financial Institute Services Limited for the year ended 2019-2020. Ministry Paper number 59 of 2022, and Annual Report for the Financial Sector Adjustment Company Limited for the year 2020-2021. Ministry Paper number 60 of 2022, and Annual Report of the Financial Institution Services Limited for the year ended 2020-2021. Ministry Paper number 61 of 2022, and Annual Reports of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission for the years ended 2019-2020 and 2020-2021. Annual Report on Audited Financial Statements of the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority for the year 2020-2021. Annual Report on Audited Financial Statements of the Maritime Authority of Jamaica for the year 2019-2020. The Auditor General's Department Performance Audit Report of the Urban Development Corporation for August 2022. Certified Appropriation Account for Head 56,000 for the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology for the year 2016-2017.
Bills brought from the Senate.
The following is a message from the President of the Senate to the Honorable House of Representatives. I have the honor to advise the Honorable House of Representatives that on the 29th day of July 2022, a bill entitled An Act to Amend the Transport Authority Act was passed in the Senate with 11 amendments, for which the Senate desires the concurrence of this Honorable House. And please see the amendments as circulated. Sign. Come in. Signed, Thomas Tavares, Finson O.J., CD, QC, JP, President of the Senate.
Minister Shaw. Now invite.
Madam Speaker, I now ask for your consent for the Senate amendments to a bill entitled An Act to Amend the Transport Authority Act to be now considered and approved.
The question before the House is that the Minister be given consent and approval for the amendments made to the Road Traffic Act by the Senate. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, first of all, I'd just like to thank the Senate for the amendments that were made, giving more fine-tuning and greater clarity to some specific issues. And I would also say that they were done in consultation with my ministry. But I'm really appreciative of the detailed work of the Senate in this matter. So, Madam Speaker, this amendment, we can all agree that this bill cited as the Transport Authority Amendment Act 2022 is a crucial one for the regulation and monitoring of public passenger transport throughout the island. It is critical to the government's agenda of establishing and maintaining order and discipline in the transport sector, which will undoubtedly have further positive benefits to the whole society. I now submit the Transport Authority Amendment Act 2022 for the concurrence of the Honourable House.
Madam Speaker, the request by the Honourable Minister for concurrence would be better satisfied if the Honourable members of this House were told what the amendments were that were done by the Senate. No, we have not seen.
It is tabled. Have you look on your desk? The amendments have been tabled.
I see the act here, Madam Speaker. I mean, we have just had sight of it, but I do not see where the amendments have been tabled, and I, for one, have not seen them.
The amendments were circulated yesterday, and I know they have been incorporated in the bill itself and tabled today.
Okay. Madam Speaker, having just had sight of it, we have on this side, have no difficulties with the amendment, so we will support this.
Thank you very much, Member. Minister Shaw, I invite you now to ask for the approval of the amendments, therefore.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I now ask that the Senate amendments to an act to amend the Transport Authority Act be now approved.
Members, the question before the House is that the amendments to the Act, an act to amend the Transport Authority Act, be now approved. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. The amendments have been approved. House Leader.
Madam Speaker, it is not intended to do any further business for the day, providing indeed that you have moved expeditiously through the agenda items. May it please you, Madam Speaker, to so do.
Petitions, papers, reports from committees, notices of motions given orally, questions and answers to questions, motions that may be made at the commencement of public business requiring notice, motions relating to sittings of the House, motions for leave to introduce bills, presentation of bills without leave of the House first obtained, public business.
Madam Speaker, you know, it is customary as we close the session of the House to offer some felicitations across the floor. But I think in the context of today being a very special sitting to commemorate the 60th anniversary of our independence and our Diamond Jubilee, we want to use it as an opportunity to reinforce the strength and commitment of this great nation to the democratic process. And indeed, this institution of the Parliament is the quintessential expression of that commitment. And so, Madam Speaker, I want to, on this side, offer to my colleagues on that side our best wishes for a very strong, powerful, and, you know, the usual Jamaican independence celebration. But this one with a little twist. A little more energy, a little more zest, a little more strength. And while we do it, Madam Speaker, we also reflect indeed on what we have been over the years, what have gone into making us who we are, and the fact that, never forget, we're a confluence of cultures and ethnicity, and we've hewn out of these many people who have become one nation. And so that's why Jamaica is so appealing to the world. And to borrow a little line that I use in my own little activities overseas, is that you have to come to Jamaica to find a little piece of yourself. So in this independence celebration, Madam Speaker, we all can find a little piece of ourselves. Madam Speaker, may it please you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I join with my colleague opposite in also using this opportunity as we close this term to wish all our colleagues and indeed, Madam Speaker, yourself and the staff of this Parliament, best wishes as we go into this period where we recognize the 60th anniversary. My own 60th year alive as well. Yes, doesn't look so. And doesn't feel so. and you know, Madam Speaker, without notice by the government side, because normally these things would have been acknowledged, but there was a change on this side during this term, and I wanted to pay tribute to the outgoing leader of opposition business, the member from Western St. Andrew, and to thank the leader of the opposition for appointing me as such, as we look forward to the new session of greater vibrancy. Madam Speaker, I have to say one thing. I have special commendations to you because I have observed you at 2 minutes to 2 every Tuesday, whether that side is ready or this side. You are there, and I pledge that in going forward, I will be here every Tuesday at 2 minutes to 2 to make sure that you are not alone in this new format, in this new way of conducting the business of this Honorable House. Thank you very much, and best wishes to everybody.
Thank you, too. I would like to also join with the leader of opposition business in saying it was a good experience for me to have worked with the member from Western St. Andrew. I welcome the new House leader, but I also pay tribute to the outgoing House leader from Western St. Andrew. He was cooperative and gracious in all our dealings here in Parliament, and we thank you. And I too would like to wish us all, and particularly our clerk and all the staff, the Houses of Parliament, a wonderful and safe Independence weekend. I want to place the emphasis while we enjoy ourselves on safety. And remember, if you drink, don't drive, because there are a lot of people on the road that don't need to drink to be careless on the road. So let us enjoy ourselves and be careful while we do so. I wish for everybody a wonderful and safe Independence.
So, Madam Speaker, it's not intended to do any further business for the day. I now invite you to adjourn this Honourable House for a date to be fixed.
Members, the question before the House is that the House do adjourn for a date to be fixed. Those in favour? Those against? The ayes have it. This Honourable House is now adjourned.
Don't miss the Jamaica 60 Independence Grand Gala, Saturday, August 6th, beginning at 6 p.m. inside the National Stadium. The pomp, the pageantry, the excitement, and the entertainment with some of our leading artists: Barrington Levy, TJ, Lolly, Glacia Robinson, Kukudu, Sister Pat, and many more. And for the very first time in Jamaica, a live 300 drone display across the night sky. The Jamaica 60 Independence Gala, Independence Day, reigniting a nation for greatness.
Nice. Much brighter. Oh, hi. How's it going today? It's so nice to see you again. Last time I gave you some homework. Do you remember what the homework was? This was the homework. So your homework was to think about a time when you were wrong and to draw your thoughts and how they grew and how the situation grew. And so this was my example. I drew in my first thing, there was a seed, and then a little bit, the plant sprouted, and then it had one leaf. And the thought that I had when the seed was there was, I don't like her. I don't like math. And then in step 2, I'm not going to study. I don't care about class. And then in my third one, I'm failing math now. I cannot pass this class. If I study now, it's not going to work. Nothing's going to work. I should ask my teacher, but maybe my teacher will be angry with me. This was the example that I gave yesterday.